How's it going, everyone? Beautiful Saturday here in Sacramento. Just wanted to give you guys one more video update with this thing right here. My 2021 Ford F150 Platinum with the discontinued and very rare 3-liter Powerstroke engine. Have the truck up for sale and could be gone by this time next week, as I'm looking to buy a house soon. So I just wanted to give you guys one more video with it, as I am at 25,750 miles. Just wanted to use this video to kind of give you guys a brief summary of all the mods I did on it, kind of summon stuff up from the other videos, and just kind of talk about my ownership experience with not just the F-150, but the 3-liter Powerstroke engine, and just my experience with some of the mods I put on it, to give you guys a good idea of how these mods kind of hold up on the truck and how the truck itself has been running ever since I bought it. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to cover mods first, and then we're going to go over some of the problems I've had with the truck, over ownership experience, and then just kind of finish up this video talking about the truck overall from the time that I purchased it up until now. So go ahead and getting into it. As you guys can tell from my previous video, I had a lot of this chrome wrapped away. I went ahead and reverted back to stock, as a lot of it just was not holding up very well long term, especially on the mirrors. On the mirrors, it would especially peel right here and come loose. They weren't able to wrap it in a single piece, so the line that they had with wrapping it would constantly peel right here. And after getting my mirrors rewrapped, I think like 4 times, finally just kind of gave up and deleted all of it and reverted back to stock. And I have to be honest, I'm not minding the chrome look as much as I did before. But other than that, reverted back to stock here. As some of you can tell and know from my previous videos, the truck is leveled on 2¼ inch aluminum pucks ready lift leveling kit. It's off a 2020 F-150, which are compatible with these 2021s. I've had 0 issues with the truck at all with this leveling kit. No rubbing whatsoever on these 34s. No clunks in the suspension, nothing with the half axles. Everything has just been great for me. This is the setup I have right now on the truck. It's 295 60 by 20 Nitto Ridge grapplers. These tires have been awesome for me. I want to say there's about, they came off my other truck, which were on there for almost 10,000 miles. So I want to say this is about what, like 33,000 miles of use on these tires. This is your tread life right here for reference, but tires have been great for me. Not the best performance in ice and heavy rainfall, but other than that, when towing, I've had basically no issues with it at all. These rims, still some of my most favorite rims on the truck that I've ever had. 20x9 Fuel Rebel wheels with +20 offset. Again, no rubbing, no hitting the crash bars. I didn't cut any of the crash bars out. This is your poke amount on a +20 offset. I'll give you guys here a good look of how it sits here. Honestly, my favorite wheel and tire setup that I've ever had on any truck that I've owned. If I was ever to buy another pickup again, these would probably be the first rims I look at. Moving on over here to the side, I added these not too long ago, 3-liter Powerstroke badges. I found these on the forum through a forum member. He had these designed and put on, designed and made, and I bought them and had them put on the truck, kind of like the 6.7 liter badge on the Super Duties, which looks real nice. Sorry for the road noise, it's a pretty busy road back here. No real suspension modifications in the back, everything's stock back here. I do have the backflip MX4 bed cover. This thing is about, I want to say, 2 years old now. Holding up pretty well, no leaks, no real issues with it. I did have to reinforce some of the rails for the cable pulleys. Okay, get out of the way. think this was the bed cover. Yeah, I had to add some of these right here, some of these bolts on some of the rails inside, because this plastic piece would be coming up when you pull on the cable. Other than that, excellent bed cover. If you're looking for a bed cover for your F-150, I highly recommend this one. No real issues with it whatsoever. I do have the Husky bed liner as well. I bought this guy because when I go snowboarding or anything else that's a little bit more kind of sensitive cargo, you don't want rolling around or scratching against the hard spray and bed liner. Very neat. Got this on Amazon for about $120. Close this back up. Coming on over to the back here. I did add that Powerstroke badge. And this is the other modification I have on the truck, the tailgate lettering, stainless steel black tailgate lettering from Ford. It's on their accessories website. Very high quality. I put these on, haven't had any issues with it, and it really gives the tailgate lettering a nice little contrast and pop here. But definitely love the way it looks on that. This is kind of a quick look from the back regarding tire poke. Moving on over to the back here. I do have the AFE DPF back exhaust, 4-inch pipe with the 5-inch tip. Adds a little bit of sound to the back because when the truck was stock with a stock muffler, you could not hear the engine running back here at all. It was super quiet, but with this pipe, you kind of hear the engine working a little bit, and it actually sounds pretty nice when the truck is in regen. Gives you like a low-end growl that's not too loud, but that's only when it's in regen. When it goes back to not being in regen, it's a little bit more on the quieter side, but you can hear it a little bit more in comparison to stock. I think that one was like $349 on their website. Moving on over here. Got that 3-liter Powerstroke badge on this side as well. The windshield and windows are tinted. Ceramic, 80% UV reflecting, which has been really nice in the California hot summers, reflecting a lot of heat back off the cabin. Huge noticeable difference. There are some interior add-ons and modifications I did as well. Talk about those here in a second, but I did add the Fumoto quick drain valve to this truck for quicker oil changes, and I did remove the active, sorry about that, I accidentally hit the record button. I did remove the active air dam on the truck. I don't know if you guys can see it here. The little motors are still in there, but the actual dam that deploys I removed. Mine got stuck a few times, and even though I was able to get it working again, I just kind of liked it without it. And unplugging these motors, for some reason on my truck, throws a check engine code, so I plugged them back in and put them back. For other people on the forums, I've saw people say that they haven't had any issues at all when they unplugged and removed them. So kind of leave it at that. Your experience could be different with removing that. Heading on over here, let's take a look at the engine bay here real quick. Get this thing, well, if I fire it up, it's gonna go to Apple CarPlay and it's gonna shut the video off again. Here we go. 3-liter Powerstroke engine, 250 horsepower, 440 pound-feet of torque. Very nice torque on the low end. One of my favorite things about this truck is it's got a very, surprisingly very quick get up and go. Once you kind of hit 45 miles an hour, you kind of notice the power kind of fall off a little bit in terms of acceleration. I've towed, I want to say, up to 10,000 pounds on it. I haven't really pushed it to its max, 12,100, but it's towed and performed exceptionally well, surprisingly well. I think throughout the mountains here up in California, my average was 12.9 and about 17.6 on the highway, towing about, I want to say, roughly 9,000 pounds. So very good fuel economy when towing a trailer. And from what I've seen with other people who have, like, say, the regular EcoBoost, the 5-liter, or the Power Boost, this one definitely gets the best fuel economy while towing and the best fuel economy while empty on the highway. I think the Power Boost on paper beats it out by, I think, a mile or two per gallon in the city. But then again, a lot of owners' experience has been a hit or a miss. Mine is getting about, I want to say 20 to 21 in the city on this setup. Let's move on over to the interior here. All right, guys, coming on over to the interior. Like I said, this one's fully loaded with the sunroof, 18-speaker sound system, max recline seats. Got some Advil for my arthritis in my knee, hand sanitizer, and then we got the interior work surface that I stole off the other F-150 and swapped out. I did let the other owner that bought the other truck know that I took it, and he didn't care, so he said he wouldn't have never used it anyway. So coming on over here, getting inside, close this guy up. Going over to my view, 21.1 is my average at the moment, 25,754 miles. And I've kept the interior very clean on this guy. Pretty good. Did have to kind of pause the video to turn off the Wi-Fi and disable Apple CarPlay so it doesn't shut the video off. But moving on over here to the 12-inch screen, 18.8 over the last 3,800 miles. This includes a lot of idling, towing, and a lot of stop and go traffic. I think this is the 2 camping trips I had over this summer, towing a trailer. So this is includes all of that encompassing. I think I reset it, I want to say 4 months ago. Moving up and down the screen here. I did make some forescan changes and add the exhaust filter for me to be able to see that. Seatbelt on here, take a small little drive here. What's nice is that Ford did update the software on these trucks with the cameras. So now I have a lot of the camera views in motion, which has been really helpful and neat when towing on this truck, backing up a trailer and other things. So we're gonna slowly back out here. This is kind of a busy street. Not so busy on a Saturday. Yes, I know they're there. Moving on over here. Nice smooth acceleration. 10-speed has been very good for me, actually. I know a lot of people have a hit or a miss with these transmissions. Either they have a very, very positive experience or they have a very negative one with these 10 speeds. This is the third one I've had. Even though I have to admit I haven't had one of these transmissions past 30,000 miles. So I can't really speak to, you know, having the transmission over, say, 50 or 100,000 miles. But of the transmissions that I've had, I've never had any issues out the gate. Running smoothly, nice up and down shifts, tow haul mode, everything up and down has been smooth for me. The only issues I really had with the 10-speed were on my 2018 when the first, I think it was like the first year the diesel engine came out for this truck with the 10-speed. And I think they had to do a TCM, if I remember correctly, transmission control module software update. And after that was completed, everything was running smoothly. I never had any issues with upshifting, downshifting, nothing of the sort. So this truck does have Blue Cruise, even though I'm not in a Blue Cruise area. And just quickly speaking on Blue Cruise, great software. Very handy for long road trips to drive up and down the freeway, taking a road trip. I took this truck recently out to the Bay Area. Keeps the truck nice and level, nice and centered on the highway. However, there's sometimes it gets easily confused, and it will frequently throw control of the vehicle back to you, as it doesn't really know what to do when the highway kind of either shifts a little bit too aggressively, or even if somebody, I don't know, there's just so many little things that cause it to throw itself out of Blue Cruise and give you back control of the vehicle. I'm just gonna wait for these bikers to pass and turn around here. But other than that, Blue Cruise for me has been mostly positive experience. I would say this, that if I had kept the truck up to the renewal point of Blue Cruise, where I'd have to pay to renew it, I probably would not pay to renew it. Simply because for me, the software and the usability just isn't there yet for me to pay out of pocket on a yearly basis, a subscription model for this. So that's just my thoughts on Blue Cruise. This is the new camera setups. So please check your surroundings. These are some of the views you can get. Not really sure what this plus camera thing is, but you can get a view of the hitch, front cameras when you're standing still, and the back. So this is stop right here, give you guys a good idea of how it accelerates off the line. So it's got some good get up and go once the turbo kicks in. So it's okay. It's no EcoBoost, that's for sure, but there is some trade-offs when you go to a small diesel engine. You get the torque for towing that's very low end, in my opinion, the better reliability, and in many cases here, the better fuel economy in the city, in the highway, and in towing. So, and that's what really the diesel engine has been for in this truck. I know Ford said that the power boost was supposed to replace a lot of the a lot of the demand that people wanted a diesel engine in this truck, but I don't think that's panned out quite the way they intended it to. But pull back in here, take a detailed look at the interior around, and then we can kind of talk about some of the other problems I've had with the truck through 25,000 miles of ownership. So parked out here. I did make modifications with ForeScan on the truck, kind of adding automatic temperature to the truck. So when you can set these into auto temperature, so the seats will come on and the heated seats will come on based on your temperature outside. I did delete the double honk when you open and leave with the keys and close the door. It doesn't double honk anymore. The other modification I did is tapping the blinker once gets you 6 and not 3 blinks for changing lanes, which has been nice. Added temperatures to the 12-inch cluster. And on this truck, I added, probably it's daylight here, you can't see that well, but these have been set, these C-clamp lights have been set to max brightness on the truck. It looks really, really good at night. And when I parked next to another F-150 and both of us had our lights on at night, it was a huge noticeable difference. And the nice part about it is it's not blinding to oncoming traffic at all. I've tried driving another car while this one was passing by. Not blinding at all, and it's actually pretty good. And the headlights auto adjust for themselves as well. So after leveling the truck, I never really had to do anything with the automatic cruise control, Blue Cruise, the cameras, the headlights, all of that was pretty much good to go after the level was completed. No issues whatsoever. So kind of transitioning over here to the back. Don't really think I have any modifications in the back here. I'm trying to think here. I do have the stowable storage down here. I got my recovery cable, some bottled water, got some straps under the other one. Overall, the truck has just been kept very clean and has held up very nicely. Have taken this thing off-road a few times. I want to say like about 7 or 8 times, like some serious off-roading, and it's been perfect for me in all of these scenarios. Let's see here. The last modification I think I did was disabling the PowerPoint timeout, so that kind of allows you to, when I was camping, to charge electronics in the truck while leaving with the keys. It wouldn't shut off after an hour. I'd be able to charge up like small batteries, cell phones, or an iPad, and kind of use the truck as my charger here. Moonroof has been good, no issues there, no leaks or anything of the sort. I did add the auto start, stop start delete. So this thing, I took apart the dash here and installed the auto start stop delete. Basically just remembers your start stop setting from when the ignition cycles. Instead of it to resetting to on, it'll remember what you had it set to and do it for you when you start the truck. Very nice and useful feature. This came with a software update as well. The bed cameras, being able to view on the side cart here. Some additional cards here I think were added, especially for mine. I think the Apple Maps one was added, but it's not visible here right now at the moment. Very nice truck. Definitely gonna miss it once it finds a new owner. Kind of want to transition over here now to talking about some of the issues I had. So as mentioned before, the deployable air dam did get stuck a few times, and even though I fixed it, I kind of preferred the look without it, so I left that thing off. There was a few other little tiny plastic issues that they replaced. I think they replaced one of the plastic pieces on the dash over there. Just some fit and finish issues there. There is the outstanding windshield wiper recall for the truck that has not been completed yet. And I took a trip, and this is very odd, and I told this to the guy who's coming to look at the truck today. The very odd thing is that my truck, after standing, I was gone for about, I want to say a week or a week and a half. The truck wasn't regularly started or used, and the battery went into deep sleep mode. Once the truck was charged back up, this is very odd. So these are the rear window switches. Window works just fine. But when I go back here, oh, yeah, stop listening to me. When I go back here, there's power in the door, the lights come on, but these switches don't work. And neither does that one. But they work on the driver control module, the driver side controls, I should say, rather. As you can see, they work just fine, but they don't work with the switches in the back. Posting that up in the forums, I think I had somebody mention that a couple other forum members had their switches replaced. There were just some bad switches from the factory, and that rectified the issue. So I'm hoping a trip to the Ford dealer, or if the new owner wants to do it on their time, I'm cool with that too, to get that fixed. Moving on over to the back here, I think there was one plastic piece, if I recall, here was like a fit and finish issue that was replaced. They fixed that. The rear rattling window, added some padding here on my own. I don't open it up very often, but it's really alleviated a lot of the rattling when you're listening to music. Other than that, this truck has been very, very good for me. No real issues here. Everything's kind of been fine. I did have a few software updates performed by the dealer, one of which was for the passenger side module to get the massaging seat working again very nicely. No issues after that. Everything has been flawless. Over 25,000 miles with towing and everything that I've done. Let's take a look at the fuel efficiency here. Sorry if this video is a little bit all over the place. It's kind of a make this video before the truck is sold type deal. So let's go trip fuel. Trip 2. So for the entire ownership period of the truck, this trip 2 has never been reset. Once it hits 10,000 miles, it resets, if I'm not mistaken, this portion, but it's still, I think, 19.4 over the entire ownership of the truck. That's idling, off-roading, towing, up and down the mountains, just a lot of city driving, a lot of highway driving. So 19.4 has been, as you can see, 690 hours on this trip. That has not been reset. Going over to truck info, got engine information. We got 740 engine hours and 174 idle hours. After owning this truck since July 4th of 2020, I honestly have to say this has been by far the best truck that I've owned, the most reliable truck that I've owned, and probably the most fuel efficient truck that I've owned. And I'm honestly gonna miss it. I know that once this thing is sold, I probably will not get my hands on one of these ever again, given its rarity, unless Ford by some miracle decides to bring back the 3-liter Powerstroke, which I don't think they will. Other than that, this truck has been amazing for me. Absolutely love it. If you guys have any questions for me regarding my ownership experience, 25,000 miles, there's not really much to say in terms of like problems. There's just been very little recalls. Little bit of fit and finish stuff here. The window switches have probably been the biggest issue that I've had, and even then they're like $32 switches that probably need to be replaced. Overall, just an amazing truck, amazing engine. It is a little bit more expensive to do oil changes on this thing, and then there's fuel filters every 10,000 miles that I've been doing. But other than that, an amazing truck. If you guys ever come across one of these and you're thinking about buying one, if it's been well taken care of, I can honestly say you guys will not regret buying one of these. Oh, I did do the other modification in the back. That's the one I was thinking of. Is there's some lines of code that you can change. Is to, as some people know, adding Bambi mode, which is the 6 lights up front, so your low beams, high beams, and fog lights on at the same time. But also, when you're driving during the daytime, you can actually enable these to be lit up, the seat clamp lights on the back to be lit up when the front ones are lit up as well, kind of giving it a more uniform look. That was probably the other 4Scan mod I did. I'm sure there's one I'm missing, but other than that, it's a quick just video rundown of my ownership experience of this thing. Absolutely love this truck. I'm probably gonna miss it, and I'm sure I'll regret one day selling it, but hopefully it's gonna find a new good owner here. It's gonna take care of it the way I did and enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching. Keep you guys updated on what I decide to buy next. I could be transitioning to, you know, doing the kind of stereotypical Slavic thing and buying a vehicle off auction to repair. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, on what I get next. If you guys have any recommendations on what I should get next, I'm looking maybe towards like a larger sedan. If you guys have any recommendations, drop them in the comments, guys. Thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed, feel free to do so. If you have any questions, comments, hit me up. I'll be happy to help. If you're in the Sacramento area and you need some help with 4Scan and doing any of these modifications to the truck, I'd be happy to help, as long as you understand that I'm not liable for anything that happens. I take no responsibility for anything that may go wrong. But thank you guys for watching. And like always, hit me up if you guys have any questions. Thank you.